Hello guys, this is Yogesh Gupta and welcome to my series of learning Exchange Server 2016. So in this video I'll be explaining what Exchange Server is, what can one do in administrating the same and configuring and its administration. So basically what exactly is Exchange Server? Exchange Server is basically Microsoft's technology for email messaging, calendaring, contact and scheduling collaboration platform. And it basically is a service that runs on Windows Server. As we are aware that mail itself is very essential in the corporate world. Hence, Exchange Server has a high-end usage in the corporate world. So guys, let's understand the virtual machine configuration that I'll be using. In future, it would be hosting a Exchange server, and as of now, currently it's running DNS and DHCP services on Windows Server 2012 R2. Apart from that, it's also having two network interfaces. One is having the internet access, and other is purely for internal network to the Exchange server. The IP of the DNS, DHCP, and Exchange would be 10.0.2.22. Ideally, in real life scenarios, there are different servers. However, due to resource constraints, I have created a single server for all these services. And the subnet would be 255.0.0.0. Gateway would be 10.0.2.2. And the DNS and DHCP IP would be similar to the IP stated above. So guys, as you can see, this is the virtual machine that I'd be using to install the Exchange. Let's go into full screen mode and let's go to and check what are the services that it's running. So as you can see, it already is a part of domain. It is running DHCP service, DNS service, and let's check the IP of this. And you can see the above static IP that I have stated in the presentation as 10.0.2.22, 255.0.0.0, 10.0.2.2. Let's check whether the machine's DNS is working fine. And we can see that is able to resolve. Hence, now let's get started with installation of Exchange Server. For getting the Exchange Server installed on this machine, we'll need to download the setup. However, I have already downloaded the setup. But before the setup, we also need to prepare the Active Directory schema, and for which we'll be running command prompt as admin. Let's go to the directory where we have the files for the Exchange server. And as you can see, I am in downloads folder where all my files for the Exchange are in this folder. So now the first step that we'll do in installing Exchange server is preparing the schema for the Active Directory. Schema is nothing but the blueprint of your entire Active Directory. So the command would be setup.exe slash prepare schema slash I accept Exchange server license. Make sure on the S, as the switch would get changed in case the S is not added. Once you type the command, you need to press enter and Exchange will start its process. Now once you are done extending schema, we'll be extending the Active Directory forest, and the command for extending it is setup.exe slash prepare ad slash. Now the only switch that will differ here is organization name, and you can give any name but you cannot change it later, so think carefully before giving a name. And the same switch that we used earlier, I accept Exchange server license terms. So once you are done with this, hit enter and the process will start again. Now once the command is completed for extension of the AD, we can extend the domains. So we'll run the parameter setup.exe with prepare all domains and the I accept exchange server license terms. And once we are done, we'll hit enter. So post extending the domain, now we'll go for installation of unified communication software. I have already downloaded the setup. Note, before installing this, you need to make sure that you have the feature Media Foundation installed. The same can be found here. Note, this feature requires a restart, so just make sure that before installing the software, this feature should be checked. And now we'll go for installing the software. As we can see, it's getting installed and we have installed the requirements for the Exchange server. Now we'll go for the setup installation. So right click, run as administrator. And here we can see the splash screen for the Exchange server. So in case if you wish to go for updates, you can. But since I have downloaded the latest copy, I won't go for check for updates right now. Now note that this process can take up some time. So I'll pause the video for time being. So now guys, as you can see, we are at the screen for role selection. Currently, as of now, I'll select the mailbox role, and along with management tools get selected, we'll go for edge transport role in a later video. So once you are done with this, click on next. Or you can also do one thing, automatically install server role which are required for the role installation. So go for this checkbox and click on next. And you can see the path where your Exchange server would be installed. We'll click on next. In case you wish for this, you can. However, I wouldn't recommend you disabling. And we can see that the setup is gone for a readiness check. This will take up some time, so I'll pause the video for time being. As we can see, the readiness check has been completed and it's issuing us with a warning. And for time being, we can ignore that warning as almost all the errors have been resolved. And I'll click on next. And we can see that the setup is copying the files and this is going to take some time, so I'll pause the video for time. And I've just finished up with my Exchange server setup, and let's try accessing our Exchange control panel. For going there, we'll open our browser and type the URL http IP of my Exchange server followed by /ECP, which stands for Exchange Control Panel. And here I need to log in with my administrator. Let's try logging in and see what the console looks like. And as you can see, I have logged in successfully, indicating that my Exchange server is fully functional now. So guys, that's all for my this tutorial. In my next tutorial, I'll be covering edge role. So that's all for my this video. Thank you guys for watching.